Whenever you pull on the white shirt, you have to raise your game because everyone seems to play their best game against us, whether it's Six Nations, whether it's in like World Cups and stuff. I think we know that we always have to be on it.
Pre-season that we'd had, the warm-up games, it was all culminating in putting a really dominant performance out there.
We want this team to go to places that this team haven't been before, and whether that's this season, next season, the World Cup, the one after, we keep on growing each game.
For us, it wasn't about revenge or redemption, it was going about what we're about now, what this team's about.
What's really exciting is that we're literally just starting, so we've got so much further to go, but this is a really, really good starting point.
To go unbeaten and put performances out like we did, it just shows what a squad we are, and I think we can reach a whole different level of where we're at right now.
This is it, girls. This is where we flick the switch. We've moved to the training facility where we're going to be for the next week. Let's make sure we really switch on today. Yeah, lead yourself and lead others. Roses on red! Red! Roses!
Rosie! Rosie, I can't see.
Hit! 2, 3, 3! Oh, no!
I think there were a couple of aims for going out to WXV. We had introduced a new way of playing. I guess we wanted to see that in practice, like from everything we went after over attack, defence, set piece, new game cycle. So we wanted to see that in place and see where we were at. Still being ranked #1 in the world and being the ultimate competitors we are, like we wanted to win. Like as England, we don't just want to turn up and perform. Like we want to be winning games, we want to be winning competitions. So that was a big part of what we wanted to go and do as well. So it's a balance of seeing our game and seeing if it's working and how we improve on that and everything we've done in pre-season. Obviously, I only finished playing in March, so to come in for pre-season and then go out to WXV as sort of lead on defence was yeah, definitely not what I had envisaged 6 months ago, that's for sure. It probably has been one of the hardest things I've ever done, you know. Definitely felt out of my comfort zone for a lot of the 3 months that we've just had, but within that you grow, and I guess for me you rise to that challenge, and I've been supported brilliantly by our management staff and probably more importantly the girls themselves. You know, having someone come in to now coach them who they've not long played with and have really good friendships with. It probably was a difficult position for them to be in, but I couldn't thank them enough for how they accepted me into the role and how they've supported me with it. Like, it's been really nice to go back into the environment and be part of a new challenge, and to play a small part in that has been pretty pleasing. We've never had someone's sole focus and responsibility for defence. Like, it's always been picked up by other coaches who are doing something else. So for me to be able to bring in just a finer detail and attention on exactly what it is we want to do defensively, and give the players some real clarity on how they go after it and what success looks like and what we want, I think made it slightly easier in the sense to deliver. So it wasn't necessarily anything groundbreaking, it was just giving like processes, clarity, communication exactly on what people could go after, and we saw some really positive transfer into the games that we had in the warm-up and in WXV.
Training at those facilities it was pretty special to train there and to have an insight of where other people are training when they're at the top of the game as well. You feel very professional when you're there. You feel like that's where you're meant to be. To have access to a pool and to a sauna and to red light therapy, and there was cryotherapy there and there was a coffee shop on site. It felt like that's where we deserve to be. There's training like the top in the world, but also the lifestyle of, you know, you had your own like apartments. And they were nicer than my own apartment at home, but it allowed you to have your own space, which I think is difficult when you're in a hotel, to find your own space and be in your own head and reflect yourself. The facilities that they had just made you want to train better, definitely. And it made you realise all the extras you can be doing, whether that's recovery or having the interactive board up to kick the ball at and get some feedback of your accuracy, where it can come into a game and you can have fun from it, was pretty special, and I'm definitely grateful that we were able to be there. It's always really daunting when it comes to selection. I think more because I get excited to play and I thrive off of that as everyone does, and you put all the work in and you just want to then perform. It's almost like a performance. When I wasn't selected for that game, firstly, I was really disappointed, just to touch on what we said before, because I did want to play. We'd just got to New Zealand, we'd had a down week, and then, so it was ultimately like 2 weeks not playing. But it's then a case of what will be, and how can you then help the squad to be that better squad, even if you're not playing. And that week was all about, how can I grow the team? How can I make sure that this team are going to play the best rugby in the weekend and not just win, but smash it?
Freeze it down!
When we were actually out in New Zealand, I met TJ from the All Blacks, and a quote he said in the documentary that was done years and years ago was around, not word for word, don't quote me on it, but it was around, if you're not going to be this, so he's a scrum half, if you're not going to be the starting 9, then you need to be the best bag carrier for the team. If you're not going to be the bag carrier and you're an MPR and you're not playing at all, you need to be the best defender when it comes to training. But if you're going to be that starting player, you've got to be the best 9 in the world, so there's always a place for you. And it was really nice to have that reflection with him, because it's definitely something that's inspired me to have that mindset.
That first 20 minutes is so important to us. Not everything's going to go our way, but it's how then we back it up, we flip it and back it up. Yeah, this is the start of our tournament, but let's go out there and enjoy it tomorrow.
You know, I said a few weeks ago, I said I think we're ready to play. I was lying. Genuinely. If you look back at this week, our preparation, yeah, I think it's been our best preparation week we've had so far. Like, outstanding. Yeah, the guys that are not involved preparing the team to play, like, brilliant. And you can really see now elements of our game really starting to come. Our soft errors have gone down massively. Yeah. So when I say now we're ready to play, I genuinely believe we are, or you are. Yeah. Well done for a great week. Let's make sure we're taking it into the game, like Marla's just said.
Roses are red! Red! Roses!
We talk about our values and our culture, and definitely it came through so much when MPRs are doing their top-up session. Obviously we finished the main bulk of the session, and their NPRs have got to stay out and do their top-up running, and the players stay to cheer them on and give them support. Obviously they can't run with them, but they can be there to encourage them and support them, which I think shows massive value and just how important every member of the squad is.
It shows that it really is not just the starting 15, it's not the 23 that are playing, but it's the whole squad that are there, and everyone's going to be there to push people on the same way I've just said how as a defensive player when you're not playing, you're pushing the starters on. It kind of takes quite an isolating situation of not being in the squad away, and you feel like it is kind of that one team, one dream.
Good luck for your first game against the Wallaroos. I'm sure it's a good way to get into it. And we hope that we've given you every opportunity to put your best foot forward in being part of the whānau this week at the campus. So every team that comes in, like you guys have stayed with us, we go through a small welcome and welcome you to the waka, and we attach this rope or the toda to a po, tying the post over here that Ben will describe in a little bit more detail. And that basically signifies to you guys that you're on the waka, you're attached to the facility, you're looking after the players like you look after your jersey as the Red Roses. You're a caretaker, and you put it in a better place than what you found it.
When most people look at this, they just look like, yeah, it's a rope. But if you actually dive deep down into what the rope is, if you take each of these little strands that are on the rope, and if you think of it as I'm a strand, you're a strand, you're a strand, you're a strand, and if we all connect all of our strands together, then this rope is unbreakable.
Us as the Red Roses, we talk about being world leading on and off the pitch, but these facilities that we've been here for this past week is world leading, and we've really enjoyed it. So thank you so much. And not just you guys, but everyone that works behind the scenes tirelessly. The food's been great, the rooms have been great, so yeah, thank you very much. And we have a small gift for you as well. So JT, just an England shirt signed from us, just to say thank you for having us.
Awesome, mate.
Daisy, you've been a fantastic addition to the Red Roses squad, and your commitment and desire to becoming the best player you can is incredible. From rooming with you and learning about your journey makes me so excited to see you take the field tomorrow. So Daisy, welcome to the Red Roses.
What's been really great to see is see the group grow, like the squad grow over the week, like the improvements we've made in our game. The only thing I think left to do now is go and put in a performance. Most important thing, we enjoy doing that. Yeah, we're ready, yeah? Let's go.
England's set piece works well, Bottoman charging, bumping bodies and crashing over the line. What a charge and what a strike from Hannah Bottoman. Pops the ball for Jones, spins it along, the hands are quick, they're good. The footwork from Breach is excellent. The step and the weave and now the strength, pops it back in field. And Ella is on the board for England. Pressure coming on. Veves, little dart down the blind side. And Jess Breach has scored plenty of tries. This one will be one of her easiest. And a little thumbs up. Ollie Aitchison likes it. With some strong carries. A little short ball for Meg Jones in close. Oh, it's tricky, it was coming. And Megan Jones scores for England. England with the opening win of WXV1.
The thing I was most pleased about was the defensive set at the very end. We'd won the game, but I think we defended for like 20 odd phases, which is a ridiculous amount for nearly 3 minutes. And I guess as a defensive coach, you want the mindset of people not wanting to concede, and that's at any point, but that just shows you the mindset of the team about actually, regardless of whether the game's won or where we are, they just don't want anyone to cross that white line. And for me, that's about how they want to defend, and actually that's a really good characteristic and trait we want about our defensive side.
We're a new look England side, and we're really enjoying the way we're playing at the moment. We've got new coaching staff, and Mitch is now here with us. We've done a lot of training without him, but we're really pleased that he's here with us now, and look, we're just looking to keep growing and building into next week's game.
It seems such a long time ago, but when the girls were back in Chester, and I think we created a video for the girls and just asked them 4 questions that I think they needed to consider as they went about preparing to own and bring to life their values. So for me, I think that was probably a really significant moment. What I loved about it is that the staff, the leadership group and the players, they've been able to bring it to life. The Red Roses have set outstanding standards in the Six Nations, have created a legacy in Test rugby already, so there's a lot of goodness there. Because they've been very, very good at that level, now there's an opportunity to become greater, better, and then give ourselves the chance to rightly contest, a World Cup final at home. All those factors put together with my own personal wire around desire to lead a program again. I think there's enough little things in there, I guess, that really can allow you to get up each morning and go get after them, and that's what excites me.
I think having Mitch come in to camp is brilliant. The detail he's come in with, how he wants to push the game forward. Like I said, we've been a great side, and he's always acknowledged that, but like, what's the next level this group can go to, and he's really driven that. It feels like we're complete now.
Yeah, I think at the start I was I don't want to say worried. Okay, I'll say the word worried, but if he takes that wrong, then cut that out. I think I was worried only because we didn't know him at all. It was just this question mark on who is this person, this Mitch, who's going to be coming in. His knowledge is just crazy. Sometimes it's a little bit too crazy, and I just nod my head and I'm like, yeah, okay, and I come away thinking, I have no idea what he's just said. But then he will always pick up the conversation after and make sure that we're on the same page, and he can learn from us as much as we're learning from him, because it's a different environment that he's in as well. He's coaching women, and I'm glad that he's here for the ride and the journey, because it's going to go to places he's probably not been before.
Medically advised. Hello.
Oh, you all have to move back.
Let's be great. For me, leadership isn't just about the decision making, it's about how you empower everyone around you to be the best version of themselves and like to get the best out of them. So that's definitely something I strive to do.
Get past!
like I just enjoy seeing people thrive and seeing people really enjoying what they do and like knowing their worth and knowing their value. So that's kind of how I envisage leadership and how I try and go about it.
Shot, Holly! Yeah, get out, Claude! Yes! Stay in there, Cath on kick!
Pass. I missed out on the World Cup and then still went back in for the Six Nations the following year, which still under the same coaching staff. To get the opportunity again, like obviously when the coaching staff changes, you never know if you're still going to be in the mix, and to get the opportunity to go for pre-season and then to get on the plane for WXV was everything. It was awesome. Like there's a real freshness about it. There's a new game plan. Nines are quite involved in that, which is how I like to play the rugby, like I mentioned earlier, but I love to be in the thick of it. I love to try and get the best out of people, so get people running off you, try and find space. That's how I enjoy playing the game. So to have that almost game plan implemented at international level kind of suited the way that I wanted to play, and I genuinely think that we are just on a trajectory that is going so far forward.
Go! That's the one.
Hold it! Hold!
I put everything into rugby. Like I absolutely love the game. Playing for England is the ultimate, and I've done it for so many years and it's still as special as the first time I did it. To then have that disappointment of something you've worked so hard towards, it's really tough, and I think you've kind of got two options. You either say, yeah, I'm done, and obviously at my age, like, do you want to put yourself back through all of that to potentially have the same outcome? But I just knew that I had more to give. Like I don't feel like I've ever fully fulfilled what I'm capable of, definitely in a white shirt. So as soon as that call came in, I think I had the weekend and I was like, nah, I'm not done. Like this is something that I want to go after. It's probably spurred me on to 2025. Who'd have known whether I would have still been here, still been playing, still had the drive for it if I had have gone to the World Cup last year. But I definitely have the drive now. Like I want to play in a home World Cup. Like I've made no bones about that. Like I want to be there and I'll do everything I can, put myself in the best shape possible. And that's just the mindset. Like getting back to New Zealand with the girls just meant so much. And like those moments with the girls, they're what I do it for.
Felt controlled, we looked organised, like even on the unstructured play, we had options and I could hear so much communication. They gave real clarity to the ball receiver and then the next receiver, okay? And it's spot on. Really, really good.
Lose somebody that like you trust instantly, so we've had some really honest and really good conversations. So back when she first came into the role and I was still on the outskirts of the whole squad, she sat down with me, gave me some real clear directive work-ons, stuff that I could go put in place. Again, gave me that confidence to go after it and to give it a go. And she's been brilliant in terms of how she's gone about trying to ignite like a passion in all of us to play the game. And it's a really cool feeling to know that somebody's just got your back, and especially in that environment, like everyone's there to do their best. So to have somebody that really is living and breathing that is really important.
I think it's absolutely crucial to any successful coaching relationship that you take a lot of time and you're really deliberately trying to get to know those players, understanding what their values are, what makes them tick, what motivates them. Any negative experiences they've had in the past as well is really important to building that relationship and that level of understanding between the coach and a player as to how we're going to push one another and get to places that we've not been before. So I think my coaching philosophy has evolved, but it's always stemmed from a place of how I can get the best out of people. So I think nobody has a ceiling. I think there's always room for growth and improvement, but it's all about how you go after that and what that looks like. So my philosophy is to empower the athlete and for them to recognise who they are as a person, what triggers them, what drives them, what really pushes them past that point that they thought they couldn't go to before, and then how we harness those all together to create the ultimate package of a world-class player. So I think the kicking game in the women's side of the game hasn't been explored as much as it could be yet. I think there potentially has been a perception of female players being limited in that aspect of the game. But again, through my philosophy, you can probably see that I'm like, there are no limits to potential, there are no ceilings. So let's break these barriers down and let's show them what we can really do. Giving that kind of energy and confidence to the player and then putting in that specific skill development as a resource to them can only enhance what can be an aspect of the game that can cause a lot of oppositions a lot of trouble. So you've got opportunities to kick to disrupt defensive systems, you've got opportunities to kick to compete in the air and get the ball back. And it's just another layer of the game that you can add on so that teams defensively don't know how to stop you. And that's why it's such a crucial piece to this puzzle.
I think Lou's done so well in just trying to breed that confidence amongst the group to allow us to try and express ourselves, but also to get behind each other when we do it. So it's not just the fact that we're able to go after the kick, she's really encouraging that space and encouraging us to go with our instinct, which is huge for any player coming up through the ranks. I think you've only just seen like what we're trying to get. I think there's so much more to come from this group.
We have to remember that these are exceptionally talented players. They've got a lot of experience and they've got some ridiculous skills that they can use to go after what they see. And I think it's really important to actually build such a level of confidence for them to play intuitively and with instinct and based off of what they're presented with in front of them, than just having a one set plan on to do this regardless of what's happening in front of you. And that's the kind of level that I push to. I want the players to be creative, I want them to be really bold, I want them to think outside the box of how they can go after weaknesses in teams. And I just want them to feel really confident in those moments to recognise what the picture is in front of them and know that they've got the experience, the skill set, the evidence bank as I call it, to go after it and solve that problem and execute and get that try.
You gave the pressure, okay, which forces then us to work even harder to get those opportunities, and that's what we need. That's how you prep, okay? And although volume's gone down, the quality of everything we're doing is going up every single time, okay? And that's because the energy you're bringing and the clarity of movement from people makes it that much faster. So that think fast, play fast gives us those opportunities that we can absolutely capitalise on and get over that white line. Okay, really top work today, and that's from every single one of you. So spot on.
So we do a little bit of like a verbal dump from our brains onto a piece of paper prior to a game. So that could be something that you're grateful for, it could be something that you're worried about, that you want to get out. It could be something that you're going after. And I think it just helps those players who might not be the biggest communicators verbally to actually put that down on a piece of paper and then share it. So we can share it with the group, they can share it with me, and vice versa. I will write something down to them that I think is really important for them to read and to hear and to recognise, but that can be done in a really private space so they can take it and digest it when they're ready. Again, it shows that I care about them, it shows that they care about one another, and ultimately the game of rugby, you have to care. You're putting your bodies on the line and you're going out there understanding how one another operates, how they're feeling before a game, what they want to achieve in that game will only unite them into being exceptionally stronger when they take the field.
Like I said today, let's trust our preparation. I think over the last 2 weeks in particular, like you flip the switch. So you think back to last week, we had 2 real good sessions, battle, team hit day, and I think we've just bettered it this week. So just massive good luck tomorrow. Yeah, we're building really nicely. Our game is really starting to show. Yeah. So let's go out and attack it tomorrow.
of the best in the game stand at the heads of their team. Marley Packer and Sophie de Goody, teammates in club rugby. Rivalries tonight as the Red Rose of England takes on the Maple Leaf of Canada. Round 2 of WXV1 coming to you from the south of Aotearoa, New Zealand in Ōtepoti, Dunedin. And now there, Aitchison sees a little space in behind, sweeping across. Farrison and Schultz got in each other's way, and did she just in time get a fingertip on it? As Kildun came through, they're going to check.
On field. Yeah, so backwards by Red, no clear grounding, and then grounded by England, try stands.
I feel like we made the call to kick it, but we didn't at the same time. It was instinctive from Holly. And I know my strength, or one of my strengths, are my acceleration, and I can get to places quite quickly. And ultimately, if we're going to go for something, everyone needs to go for it as well. We all need to be on the same page. So when that kick happened, it was very reactive, and I just thought, I better get on the end of this. In that scenario, we pulled it off, and I didn't even know whether to celebrate, if I'm honest, because I was like, now what? No one else celebrated, because I think no one expected it. And I stood up, and basically before the game, we'd agreed of a celebration if we score, and I kind of backed up. I thought, I don't know if I've scored this or not. And by the time I got to halfway, I looked up at the girls and the who were on the bench, and they gave me the do it. So then that's when the whole cowboy thing came out, and when I looked up on the screen, it was actually being shown in slow-mo, which was slightly embarrassing, but I've had to go with it since. And yeah, it's one of those things that you've just got to see what happens if you go after something, something will happen.
And again they roll forward, it's still their control. They've earned a penalty, but they're going to get a try. It's brilliant. They've got 7-8 metres to go, and they are just rolling forward. Here comes number 4 for Lark Atkin-Davis. Ellie Kildun just slides through the tackle, accelerates away, little ball back in field for Jess Breach, who scores tries against Canada for fun. What a strike for England. And here they come again, McDonald needs no room, skips out of the first tackle, weaves her way to the line, all the speed you need, and it's Claudia McDonald's turn to break out for England. And England power to victory with a 45-12 win over Canada.
I thought the players came out and they were extremely brave in their decision making. They went after the things that we asked them to within the strategy, and they executed it to a point where we're recognising where this team could possibly go. It's really exciting, like especially through a new part of the game like the kicking strategy. And how much we can use that to our advantage as a team. Admittedly, we're always going to make some mistakes, but those mistakes are absolutely valuable because they teach us the lessons we need to move forward. And those moments are crucial to what that looks like in the long run, especially as you build towards a World Cup. You're never going to get everything right, and that's the beauty of these players going after it the way they are now. They're willing to take risks, they're willing to make mistakes, and they haven't got this fear of failure. And that's what we recognised in the Canada game.
No pressure, Harriet.
Right, stuff in. Even on each side.
I think the training week leading into Black Ferns was actually a really positive one. We were hitting PBs in the gym, we were hitting PBs in our speed session, and it just shows that what the S&Cs were talking about back in Chester to after the warm-up games with Canada is, you know, we want to peak when we come to the end of the tournament, when we're playing in the biggest game that is playing against New Zealand in New Zealand, and that's definitely what we did.
Stay still.
The Black Ferns game, the build up to New Zealand was obviously a pretty big week for us. They're obviously reigning champions. We probably knew it was going to be the toughest test we were going to have out there. So there was a lot of preparation, a lot of detail, I guess, from us as coaches that went in to ensure that We prepared the girls as well as possible, and I guess try to give them the information that the pictures we thought they were going to see. With that comes only so much, and the girls have to bring that intensity, they have to bring the execution, and they did that in bucket loads.
Obviously coming off the back of World Cup last year and not getting the result, the whole week people are talking about this, the revenge match. How do we feel as the Red Roses coming back out here to play? But we were quite certain, I was quite certain that actually this is a new look England side, a new look Red Roses. We've got new coaching staff, lots of new players involved. Actually, it was just a game coming this Saturday. Trust in the process, trust in what we've done before, all the training, all the dark places we'd been in to get us to this point. Come that Saturday, put the performance in, and we definitely did that. We did a bit of slip and slide, and actually it was really fun, but it just shows, you know, we work hard, we train hard together, but then actually we have a bit of fun together after training, and you know, I think that gave us a real mindset that going into New Zealand, we can be relaxed about it, because then it brings out the best versions of us as individuals, but us as the Red Roses.
Like you girls should be like massively proud of how you've prepared throughout the whole campaign, like the summer, and since we've been here in New Zealand. The staff, myself, are massively proud of you too. We're on a journey. What happens tomorrow will be. Yeah. The exciting thing is we're still early in this journey. There's so much more growth in the team, and that's really exciting.
Off the boot of Holly Aitchison, England and New Zealand, round 2 is underway. Matthews controlling it at the back, New Zealand backpedaling. Matthews picks, goes, scores the try. Brilliant from Alex Matthews, superb control. England's physical power opens up the scoring. This is England's bread and butter. It's there for Oldcroft. The maul all set on there. Over the line they crash. Try scored. And away they come again. Low and hard and driving to the line. There's Zoe Oldcroft. And they keep plugging away to the right. Hunt Byrne. Too easy in the end for Sarah Byrne. Marino Tohinu demands. And they've got advantage as well. Simon goes herself. Kennedy Simon gets New Zealand on the board.
You're going to have to go and win the game multiple times. Yeah, they'll have another moment, yeah, and we've got to go and win the game again. And then they'll have another moment and we've got to go and win the game again. Yeah? You just got to believe in the plan and stick to the process.
Let's be brave in attack, let's think fast, let's stay alive, both attack and D. Yes? Red on red! Red Roses!
Tui from Holmes, Vahakolo for the corner. Caitlin Vahakolo scores. Sarah Byrne just short. Telling this time, telling is over. England's forwards flexing their muscles. Oldcroft over. Oldcroft scores. They know their game superbly well and they execute it when it counts. England WXV1 champions, world #1s, an unbeaten season for the Red Roses. World-class performers, bringing it on a big occasion.
Beating New Zealand in our own backyard, there's no better feeling, and they put on a fantastic game for us tonight. Didn't stop right to the end, so full credit to them, but just proud of the girls.
It didn't feel like we were playing that World Cup final rematch at all. It just felt like any other game. There wasn't this nervous, because I think when big games happen like that, there can be this nervous energy that everyone's trying to do something. But we were just so on it as a team. We were just so ready, and it was just like playing any other team. We know that we're going to come against them again, and to have that in your back pocket, that no, this was the feeling, this is how we did it, and this is how we're going to build from it as well. I think it is exciting.
I think the reaction after that final whistle from the squad was, you know, a real emotional one, of happiness, of relief. It was a long 13 weeks running into that final game at WXV, and you know, we put our bodies in some dark places and come out of it and come out with the result we wanted. The synergy between the team, not just the team of players, but we talk about the staff, like everyone had done everything to put us in the best place for that game, but for that final whistle, and you know, it all came together for that.
I didn't think I'd be as emotional as I was, like genuinely didn't. There was a lot of, I think, fight in me from previously, obviously like getting back to a white shirt, but getting back, and for me to have such a big involvement in the WXV, I think that was huge, because for me there's a difference being involved but also playing a big part in the team, and obviously like starting a couple of games out there was huge for me, and especially getting the nod in that final game against the Black Ferns and being able to throw the ball around with the girls. And I think it was just that like elation that I was back there, that I was doing it on the biggest stage against the World Cup winners, but also for world #1 team, and still holding my own, but also that we'd just beaten them, and I knew we were capable of it, like I knew we could do that. And although I'm probably coming to the end of my career, like I've still got a few years to keep fighting for that, and to almost springboard this new era, and I'm excited for that opportunity.
You almost sensed the emotion after the game of what it meant to everyone that was playing in that game, you know, after the heartbreak of last year. And that's the heartbreak for people that played in the Rugby World Cup final, but also the heartbreak for those that didn't make it, who wanted to. There was, yeah, it was really great to be a part of that and feel it, and feel how special and how much the squad had grown in that time. And when I say squad, I mean the players and the staff like joined. Yeah, it was nice to be part of it.
After the final whistle, we're in a line shaking the New Zealanders' hands, as we always do, celebrating the game. And Harriet Martin, our manager, comes over to me and takes me to the side, and I'm thinking, oh, what have I done wrong now? What's wrong? Like, this isn't a normal thing. And she said, oh, I've got something to tell you, Marley. I was like, okay, preparing myself to be something bad. And she's like, you've won World Player of the Year. And oh, the emotions were, yeah, I cried instantly, to be fair. I think, you know, it'd been a long 4 weeks away from home, missing all of our, you know, just missing all your home comforts as well. And then to get an accolade, for individual accolade like that is massive, and one I never realistically thought I'd ever win. But to win it off the back of this season is really special. Every player that I play with week in, week out, they're the people that help put me in the gaps, help make me be the player I am, and keep driving me to be the best I can be. And for me, I'll always try to keep being the best open side flanker there is in the Red Roses, but in the world as well.
I think we were very, very clear on our process against New Zealand. We had good plans in place in terms of building up to that. Our training design was all geared to peak physically and that we were really good mentally, and we'd already had belief around that our game was the right way and our game was working. So as a result of all that, I just think it just allowed the girls to be able to go out on the pitch and be really, really clear and bring the necessary energy collectively. We were very much on the same page that evening, and I think that's just a really great example of good preparation by everyone.
We talk about the process, performance, but to get the outcome is awesome. Like, that's a brilliant result, and credit to everyone. It's been amazing. 31st of July to now, what we've achieved already as a group has been outstanding. I mean, the application from everybody in every area, just so proud of how everyone's kind of really committed to what this journey's about, what this team's about. So just massive kind of well done.
We'll see, we're already a strong team, but we've become even stronger. We've still got lots of improvement left in us. We've got identified areas in our game that we can improve. It's certainly not finite for us. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if we continue to be very, very clear, evolve the detail, and build stronger people physically and mentally, then I think we've got an opportunity to take our game to another level.